Greetings, humans! Okay, first things first. This video is going to suck. And let me tell you why. It's because I do not have a fear of snakes. I do not have a fear of heights. I do not have a fear of 25-foot waves. I do not have a fear of jumping out of an airplane. I do not have a fear of all those things that can actually get you killed. But I do have this absolutely ridiculous fear of being on camera or of public speaking. You know, it's right up there for a lot of the population. Our number one fear is public speaking, right behind that fear of death. You see how irrational that is? Well, that's all instinctually core based. So I'm going to flip that and say, I do not have a fear of the camera. I am not afraid of you, camera. I'm not afraid of making a fool of myself. I'm not afraid of people laughing at me. But there is something inside of me, and that's the instinctual core that absolutely is sending me fear. And with the IC solution, when we start to look at that instinctual core as separate from us, I can go ahead and commit and make overriding decisions, say, I'm no longer going to listen to it. Because the only way I am going to get good at spreading this message is getting comfortable talking to this camera. That's what I'm trying to do today, and I'm going to be mumbling and bumbling and stammering my way through it. But this is day one for me. This is a big day because I'm going to be setting my overriding decisions. Okay, so what is an overriding decisions? That's once you first have the basics. You need to know the very basics of the IC solution. Let me throw up this picture here. The default perspective that we're all born with is that all the thoughts and emotions and the toxic thoughts and toxic emotions that go on our head are our own. They all come from us. There's this dual, the dual of inside our head going back and forth. The IC perspective, we take on a new perspective where there actually is a separate intelligence. That primitive, primal, reactive brain is a separate intelligence in our head, and we look at it like that. We look at it like a separate little puppy inside of us, and it's trying to do what it thinks it's supposed to be doing, but it's not fit for this world. It's made for a world of 30,000 years ago. Everything it's trying to do to save our lives today is not working. So when we separate from it, we can see it in action. Just like when I'm talking to this camera, there is a very specific reason, which we're not going to get into in this video, because we're setting up overriding decisions in this video. But there's a very specific reason the instinctual core says talking to that camera is going to get me killed. It's basically, real quick summary, it's like jumping to the top of the pecking order in your tribe kicks you out, you're dead. Things were different there. That's all it cares about is your survival. Okay, so you should already have an idea of this. What the goal is, when we make an overriding decision, we're going to go from here, where we are out of control, and we have an IC that's not trained for today's world, that has our subconscious completely hijacked. And over time, practicing, we're going to get our subconscious back. We're going to have an IC that's trained for this world, and we are going to be happy, comfortable, and more productive. Okay. Now, we will be using the IC User's Guide. We're not getting into that here. The IC User's Guide is basically the template to understand everything the IC is doing in us. We're going to use the radar technique to see how we're being hijacked by the IC and how to undo that. We're going to use the roar technique to see, after we've undo that, how to start to live our lives that are fueled by us. To go from a life that is forced upon us by the instinctual core to go to a life that we want, decided upon by us. Way too much information, okay? But I'm just giving you the quick summary of the instinctual core. But we're going to get back. What we're doing today is this is going to be day one for me on setting some overriding decisions. And we do that here at the IC Goal Tracker. Okay, I'm going to show you a basic setup. This is kind of like what's going to be happening in the meetings. When you start to figure out what the IC is all about, you're going to get to set up your overriding decisions and start to investigate your instinctual core. But to do that, the first step, well, beyond the decision to experiment with the IC as separate from you, the first step is to set your overriding decisions. Okay, so I'm going to first do what I would have done a long time ago if I had all this set up in place, but what I did mentally in my head once I first started to get an inkling for this, 3,153 days ago was when I had my last drink, because I was a hardcore alcoholic and I did not want that at all. But there was something inside of me ever since my first days on this planet that I can remember, like going to kindergarten. There was this deep, terrible anxiety. I always felt uncomfortable. And when I was around 14, 15, I had my first drink, and the my instinctual core seized on that. That is the solution. Because for the first time, I didn't feel that level of discomfort. Okay, fast forward, long way. Many rehabs and detoxes later, I could not quit until I decided to start to treat that instinctual core as separate from me and understand what it was trying to do. So I'm going to set that overriding decision up first, although that overriding decision was made 3,153 days ago. But we just got the IC goal tracker live. We're starting to experiment with it. And I'm going to put that in as my first goal. Now, to set an overriding decision, well, first you see how it works. We went through this diagram. We're going to go on our overriding decisions. We're going to reacquire our subconscious. We're going to do that by racking up points. We get the points by 2 points for each IC investigation meetup, 1 point for completing radars. You'll learn all about those. 1 point for completing roars, 0.25 points for radar quick catches, which is after a while of doing radars manually, going through the 5-step process, you'll be able to run through it in your head in a few seconds, and you can start doing quick catches. You'll start to, like when that instinctual core says, go get that Cheeto and put it in your mouth, you'll be able to catch it and quickly stop it. Same thing with roar. You'll be able to run through that process, how to reactivate yourself rather than being driven by the instinctual core. But much more information than you need for this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set up my first goal. And if I didn't explain enough, I suck at videos right now because this is scary for me, because the instinctual core is saying you should be very afraid. But I know I can overcome that just by putting in lots of reps. So we're going to click, when you set up an overriding decision, you click on this plus sign. Rather than letting you just fill in your overriding decisions, we wanted to keep it some sort of formal structure. So when you guys are starting to work, so when we're all starting to work in groups together, we can kind of see some similarities. And also, like say for me, with the fog of alcoholism that my brain was in, one day I would come in and set up an overriding goal of overcome alcoholism. Next day I might come in and set a separate overriding goal of don't drink. So this is kind of this structure is a whole bunch of things that we believe that the IC solution will be totally useful for. We have an experiment with a lot of them. I've done a lot of them myself. So, but now I'm setting up the IC goal tracker so you can see the formal way to do it. So we select here. Okay, but once I have an overriding decision and this populates, let me tell you what's going on here. First of all, overcome alcohol addiction. You have a start date. I have a start date, 10/15. That is my day one. Okay, that is huge day. This is big, big moment for you. Once you do that, from then on, every time you hear, let's say, I shouldn't be saying you, anytime a person has a thought or an emotion that goes against their overriding decisions, they're able to catch it and say, ha, that's not me. My overriding decision is to never drink again. Okay, so I'm going to fill in with a little bit of clarity on each one of my overriding decisions, which I've already got over here. Copy that baby. Going to define it with a little clarity. For me, I'm the type of wonderful alcoholic that can't ever consider a drop again, because who knows? I've done enough field testing that if I have a drop of alcohol, there's a good chance I'll be checking myself into a detox unit in 2 weeks on the brink of death. So I'm never going to experiment with that. But more importantly, when when you're coming in for the first time, this is, you only want to work on that big bottleneck. What's really troubling me? And for me, that was obviously alcohol addiction. Today, I'm going to show you just a simple setup of one goal, but then I'm going to show you my next level where I want to do what I call the great life flip, where I want to feel totally at comfort and at ease and able to focus in on anything that I want at any time without the fear and the doubt and the sadness and the anger and the mixed emotion and thoughts that come from the instinctual core. Okay, but I digress. We're setting this one up as if I'm setting it up for the first time. For me, priority, what does that mean? Okay, take the most important thing in your life. Say God, family, country, soccer, whatever it is. That is a 10, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. When you are setting these overriding decisions, in order for them to really stick, you have to make them exponentially higher than anything else in your life. So say most important thing in your life is a 10. When I was needed to quit drinking, I would have made this 100,000. No kidding. Nothing else. That's 10,000. Good enough. Just really, really, really important. You got to put it above everything else to make it stick. And not for long. Right now, I've got it's just the slimmest thought to actual reality that I would ever have a drink. So right now, I leave this at priority 1, but I just want to have it there. And if I had the IC goal tracker, which is right here on your website when you click on your webpage, when you click right here, if I had it back then, it would have started February 25th, 2017, which is 3,153 days ago. Okay, but let me show you how you work it from here. You've got all right, first you start here. So and I'm talking about me, my subconscious was totally hijacked. There was something in my head screaming, go get a drink, go get a drink. You're a piece of crap. You're a piece of shit. You're no good. You can't handle this, over and over and over again. But the overriding decision was all of that was a lie. Everything in my subconscious was a lie, and it was put there by the instinctual core. And I learned so much about all the reasons why the instinctual core was messing me up. And for me, this happened so quickly. Although I tried and struggled for 8 years to quit drinking, once I started thinking about things from this perspective, it was gone. It was like this light bulb hit me. It was like all this nonsense that I think are who I am, that are running around my subconscious, my true beliefs, they were all nonsense. I could see that the only thing that mattered was my overriding decision coming from my consciousness, using my conscious brain, and I could start to train all the rest of the bullshit out. And that's what happened. Right now, on occasion, I'll see a drink and say, oh, that would be cool. You know, I'm not against people drinking. I'm against me drinking because I just happen to I have an addiction to it. So I can't pick it up. If I could, maybe I would. There's nothing wrong with it. But it doesn't work for me. So my goal is to go from here to here, and I fully have. We get a forecasted progress here on this little brain, and that's going to start changing as I accumulate points on my particular goals. I'm not going to be working towards this goal because it's already so far locked in. Okay? But you can also set your own personal evaluation, and I would never set anything to 100 because I always want to know it's still there. But see, that's where I am when it comes to alcohol addiction. And that's not only like, I don't want to get a drink. I can wander around in this world with perfect comfort. My whole thing was social anxiety from the age of like 4, as early as I can remember. I was completely freaked out, and the alcohol came as the solution. And then when all this hit me, I decided to start questioning that. What was that fear all about? And it was nonsense. It was bullshit. It was the IC trying to protect me in a world that it doesn't live in anymore. And now I can walk around absolute total comfort in every area of life. I can go up to anyone. They're my best friend if I want them to be. I could just totally ignore them. They could laugh at me, make fun of me, and I would not care at all. so liberating. My life is so different. But what I realize is what I've done is I've created a solution, and I've worked so hard to develop this solution to spread to the world. But I'm being a total hypocrite because I'm not taking what I've learned about the instinctual core to the next level. I can go out in the community and feel totally at ease, but I can't yet go out live on a video camera or in front of large groups because the instinctual core still kicks in. The larger and larger the group, and the camera being 8 billion people. Today is my day one where I'm going to fight down the instinctual core and the fear it's trying to send me to tell me you will die if you mess up on that camera. I no longer care. I'm not going to go back and edit these videos. We don't have time for that. There are so many people out there suffering. This solution is going to help some of them. Not all of them. No solution works for everyone. But as soon as you start to try it, you'll know soon enough if this one's going to be the right fit for you. So that's what I'm going to do in setting my next overriding goals. Okay, but let me finish just going through the details of what this one is. This is the radar. You can click straight into the radar solution. We'll be getting into that further on in other instructional videos. The roar, the quick radar catch, and the quick radar. So you can do those directly applying to an overriding decision. One thing I want you to note, when you do a roar, which is reactivating yourself, it applies points to every single one of your goals. Okay, radar, on the other hand, is applying points just to the particular goal you're working in. Okay, and here's the different points that are going on over here. And this is going to be getting more and more sophisticated. We're always updating. There's going to be levels and badges and all sorts of fun things. But right now, we track your points, which will match up to forecasted progress. Not necessarily 1 point equals 1%, although it is that way in the beginning. As you level up, it's going to be harder to get to all the way to 99 because you're never going to get to 100. Okay, but as you get good at one thing, you're practicing your skill, it's separating from the instinctual core, and your other things, changing other things about your life, things you never knew you could change. You can change easier than you could have possibly imagined. I mean, for me, I repeat, I could not stop drinking for 8 years, never getting more than 6 months. As soon as I started doing this, haven't had a thought since. Literally, haven't had a thought that even eclipsed the possibility of me actually going to purchase and putting something in my mouth. Okay, so that's forecasted progress. We get points here for radars. These the points I talked about. You'll get to mark your day one. You get the day you did it. You get day one. Days with IC progress. Any day that you come here and do a radar or just go into a meeting, you get a day with IC progress. You get to see your streaks, and you get to see your longest streaks and days without slips. What is a slip? I want you to be completely honest. If you have a little, if you're doing it for staying away from all junk food and one day you slip and have a nacho, put in a slip because it's not. I hated when I was going into the 12-step meetings and having one drink would make me go back to zero. Slips happen. Okay, you don't need to feel bad about them. In fact, everything you've done up to this point that has been led by the instinctual core, you don't need to feel bad about at all. None of this that's happened to you is your fault. It's this thing, this separate intelligence inside of you that's been controlling you, and we're going to get that back. Okay. So there's your slip. You can register a slip here. You can, and then the reset button is for, you want to keep your start date, but you're like, okay, I really kind of want to reset everything because now I understand better how I'm going to go about this. You can hit the reset button. I never recommend you hitting the delete button, but the delete button is used to clear it and start all over. But even if you feel you have something under control, you just want to set it to a lower priority and keep it lower on the list. Okay. So delete button is more like, whoops, I put it there by mistake. Okay, so now so that's the simple one. And by the way, I learned so much about just by working on my alcohol addiction, I learned so much about my fears, my anxieties, my angers, and all this stuff. So you can, once you get into the user's guide and start seeing the different way the instinctual core is doing these things, it's trying to get a win. and by avoiding the threat, destroying the threat, or attaining the treat. But the things it's trying to ask you to do are most of the time impossible. So, but it still wants a win, and usually that win can come in the form of a shortcut like alcohol. So once you realize the things it's trying to achieve are nonsense and impossible, you can start to say, "Hey, I'm doing just fine." Okay, I think I've rambled on about that long enough. Now, here's where I'm going to take it to the next level, where I'm going to set up multiple goals. And I don't recommend this for first-time users, but I'm ready to take it to the next level. And it's going to be a lot of being focused on my health and my passion, my purpose. The whole reason I was put on this planet was to spread this to the world. And I haven't been doing that because of that little itch to say, don't get on the camera. But what I'm going to commit to is get in front of the camera at least two times a day. I'm not going to worry about editing and doing all this stuff and getting my camera crew I don't have all that. I'm solo here until I form a team. I want a team. If you're ready, I need all the help I can get here. We need all the help, the royal we. But we have a chance to save a lot of lives, and we're going to do that. So let's go. Let me start setting up my goals. Let's start with something simple. One thing I'm going to click on overcome unhealthy nutrition. Now, what I want to say about that is when I originally quit drinking, I went on this diet just because I was just so thrilled with life and I was so thrilled with my health. And I'd locked in forever to never have a drink. But I never fully locked in overcoming unhealthy nutrition because that I realized it's kind of like a messed up addiction because you got to eat food, right? And sometimes you don't want to get around to preparing the right meal. So it's a commitment. And me, the instinctual core inside of me says, aha, I got you to eat a nacho this time. So now I'm going to keep on doing it. And it's almost like not nearly as bad as the alcohol the vodka I put in myself 24/7. But now that I'm going to start tracking with these daily meetings, and why I'm doing the daily meeting, what I mean by my daily meetings is until I have my group of my fellow guinea pigs and soldiers come on and doing this with me, I'm going to be doing this live and posting it. This is the only one you need to watch because this is teaching you about how to set up your overriding goals. But I'm going to post this every day just to put something in practice out there. But I'm actually going to have two relevant support videos and marketing videos, basically getting the word out. I need to get this word out as quickly as possible. I'm no longer going to edit, and we're just going to get out to as many people as possible. I think I'm kind of repeating myself, but as I said, I suck at this, okay? Overcoming unhealthy nutrition. Let me set priority here. I'm going to do this I kind of remember what I want to do with my priorities. I'm going to put that. So I put it at a priority of 1007. Remember, we've got alcohol addiction dropped to 1007. For this, let me add my my notes for this. Control notes. Okay, exclusively caveman diet and add-ons. Those are things that I think are totally okay. Like caveman diet means that it has one ingredient. Your proteins, vegetables, seeds, fruits, nuts. And then the add-ons are things like creatine. I'm pretty sure that's good for us. I take some protein powders, a couple supplements. I'm trying to wean down. I don't know exactly what's right. Highlighted goal. I'm actually 186 today. And I want to get back to my fighting weight at 169. That was kind of when I went on American Ninja Warrior in 2001. That's where I was at when I was in peak condition. And for this, I'll show you more because I'm also going to set up my start an exercise program. But what I should have done first is tell you this. This is something I recommend, is whenever you're doing more than one overriding decision, is that you should use this one, separate from your instinctual core, as the glue that binds them together. And what that means is, like, all of these have one underlying thing, is that, like, with unhealthy nutrition, the instinctual core wants me to get that salty taste, that sweet taste, that fatty taste, that savory taste, because it knows that's going to help me survive. But it doesn't know that in this world, there's a bunch of scientists and engineers making food specifically to feed the instinctual core that is now no longer what is most likely to make us survive, but most likely to kill us. They're poisons. But all of these are based on the one simple fact of separating from your instinctual core. So I'm going to put that at the top of the leaderboard, because every time you practice separating from your instinctual core, you practice making that separation, because whenever you remember that, you're amplifying. It's the glue that kind of amplifies all of these goals. So separating from my instinctual core, I'm going to put as my metric. I don't know if I did a great job of explaining that, but as I said, my videos are going to suck today and for the next month, maybe for the next year, but one day I'm going to be awesome at this. So live the separation. And my metric for this is to try and flip one monotonous or cumbersome task each day into an exciting event. For instance, an example I have is like washing the dishes. You can be like, oh, I gotta wash the dishes. These things never stop coming. Or you can be like, oh my gosh, I've got dishes. I've got a dishwasher. How fortunate is that? I've got running water that's pretty fresh coming in this house, and I've got a filter to clean these with, and I've got these different variety of dishes that hold the foods I make. It's amazing. That's the appreciation part. And then there's the intrigue part where you can say, okay, how can I do that? How can I set up this plan and make it to get every dish as from here to there as quickly and as orderly as possible? And then the engagement where you can say, can I drop myself into this project and fully focus? Then there's self-improvement. It's like, you're in self-improvement. You're improving. You're cleaning dishes. Okay. So it's like dishes can suck or dishes can be awesome. And that's what I'd say by flip one monotonous or cumbersome task each day into an exciting event. Dishes is a silly example, but you see it every day. And anytime I'm feeling like frustrated that I'm doing something, I try and flip it. This is giving you good practice to flip everything else in life, like eating something healthy instead of eating junk, or getting on that video camera and doing that video, even though there's something inside of you that says, go watch TV instead, go get drunk instead, because that instinctual core is saying this is something really scary and it's full of shit. It's not as scary as sharks, and you still get in the ocean, right? Well, I do. Okay, so back, separate from the instinctual core. That's the glue holding them together. So now I'm getting back to, and we're coming to the good one, the ones that are going to change your lives, for all of our lives forever, because I'm going to finally start getting good ones. But I'm going to get the nutrition / start an exercise program down first, the kind of the personal goals down first. Because none of this will happen if I don't keep my body in working order, if I'm not putting poisons in. And for this one, I'm going to do... Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention, overriding decisions are not about just quitting toxic habits, quitting toxic emotions. They're also about starting something new. Your instinctual core does not have the ability to start anything new, start anything. That takes you and your initiative, where you use the roar to flip it and do whatever you want, because you've got this amazing brain full of creativity and intrigue and all this wonderful stuff. And the instinctual core doesn't want you wasting time with that. It wants you sitting there fearing for your life and fighting for your life. But that's not the world we live in. Okay. So now I'm not cancel that one. This is okay. I'm going to start an exercise program. Okay. For me, I'm going to put this up next to unhealthy nutrition. Now, see, I could just drag it up there. There's a drag button, but it also shifts by priority, and we want to focus on our priorities. Remember, 10 is the most important thing in the world, and these things for a while are going to be the most important thing. I'm going to add some clarity to the exercise program. Some little goals I have here. See, I'm golden. I got this. I can sing on camera, and it's a beautiful voice I got. Exercise part. Okay, see spreadsheet for tracking and goals. My highlighted goals I want to get from 20 pull-ups to 35 pull-ups. I want to get my one muscle up in. I've got some other things. I want to get over 100 push-ups, and I want to get I think I'm going to go for the 6:15 mile. Okay, and now the IC solution is all about putting you in the right mental space so that you can do this. Because start an exercise program. Why doesn't the IC want me to start an exercise program? Because the IC wants me to sit on the couch and veg out, because it wants me saving my energy for when I need to be running away from that saber-toothed tiger, or from when I need to be chasing down that buffalo. It wants you conserving your energy when you're not doing that, or making sure you have a shelter for the night and all these things. Okay, so when you have those in place, it wants you sitting on your ass. It doesn't know about that we need exercise. It made us get exercise in order to save our lives 30,000 years ago. Okay, so that's why. So now, but the point I was making is that unhealthy nutrition exercise program, I've locked in an exercise program. I never stopped that when I locked in quitting alcohol. I've always been doing that, but I've been unable to maintain the diet. Now, on day one, here on October 15th, 2025, I'm committing to you, because now that I have accountability, what I was doing before, I was doing this in a vacuum by myself. Now that I have my group, which is you, and the meetings that I'm going to post, which no one needs to watch at all, just this first one, and then all the videos that are going to spawn off of it. But I'm going to show you the point I was trying to make. Remember, I'm allowed to stutter and sound and do this terribly. The point I was trying to make is that the IC solution helps you do things that you couldn't do before. You know the right diet. Whatever your diet is that you chose, I'm not going to tell you what diet you're supposed to choose. You know your exercise routine. You've seen 1,000 things about the exercise routine you're supposed to do. The IC solution makes you actually go out and do them, because it makes you realize, okay, I'm not going to let you win, Instinctual Core. I'm doing what I want to do with my life. I'm eating what I want to eat. I'm doing the exercise program that I want to do because I know you want something different, but you are not actually helping us survive anymore. I'm taking over. So the IC solution is the mentality part. Okay, but in order for me to track that, it can be anything. It can be whatever you use to track your stuff. Okay, so I've started this today, and basically for me, I'm going to be working out every morning. I'm going to be taking a photo for accountability and I'm going to start my exercise by 5:02, because sometimes it takes an extra minute. But I get up around 4 a.m. ish, and then I'm going to start. And you see, I track. There's just some things that I'm tracking: dead hangs, laps on a monkey bar, burpees, muscle ups, workout. And I've only done one muscle up in my life, by the way. They are so wicked hard. I'm tracking cold plunges. And so these are daily mandatory things. I put a little time in. I'm tracking these things. Here I'm getting 186. I'm at 20 pull-ups now. I want to get to 40. But so this is the tracking system. And if you guys want, this is a very basic one just on a Google sheet. But there's millions of different tracking methods, right? The point is, I just going to come over here. I always come here first to make sure I'm separating from the instinctual core to do these things. Otherwise, the tracking system doesn't get kept up. If I don't continue to acknowledge that I'm doing this on a daily basis and I'm separating from the instinctual core. Okay, so those are the me things. Now I'm going to talk about what I need to do for my purpose, the reason I was put on this planet, and I've done a fantastic job. I give myself an A+ for creating this system that millions of people can use, because I've been overdeveloping it because I haven't been getting on the camera and doing it. I know I give myself like a B- on the quick start guide. That needs work because there's a lot of scripting and videography, and not in love with it. But now I'm at the point where other people can help me. So I'm very happy. But I know that if I had this 8 years earlier, I would have gotten out of my alcohol addiction so much quicker. And I am so shocked that I made it through those 8 years with the amount of poisons I was putting in my body. And I know a lot of people that I were going to AA meetings with that just didn't make it through. I saw a lot of my friends die. As soon as I figured this saved my life. Okay. So, but now I'm working it to take it to the next level where I can actually stop keeping it to myself and share it with the world. I've got an important message. And by the way, I want help with this message. I want you not only working in groups, but I want you helping me reach other people. Okay. So the last two I have to set up then are the start something new. Well, I'm going to start with the overcome anxiety. And as I already spoke about, I've overcome anxiety to such a massive degree. I could not hardly walk out in public without just feeling overwhelming anxiety. Almost not to the point of agoraphobia, but wicked bad. Like I needed a drink to go out. Now I'm just totally comfortable. But now this is the next level of anxiety that I'm talking about, where I'm no longer talking to a group, my people, my tribe around here, but to the world, because the instinctual core sees the camera as the world. So basically anybody. And I'm willing to discuss my ideas with anyone in the world. I am. The instinctual core is not ready for me to do that. That's why every time I start to feel that fear of the instinctual core saying, don't do it, don't do it, I can say, aha, that means I'm going to do it. So the goal for me there is, let's get this overcome anxiety. I'm going to put this at 1010, I believe. Yeah, so separate from my instinctual core first, overcome anxiety. Let me add the description for that. Boom. Okay, overcome my fear of the camera and become a natural teacher of the IC solution. See spreadsheet, I'll bring you over there. Success through one support or marketing video posted each day and one meeting. Changing that. I'm going to be posting my meetings. By the way, your meetings, when you come to the IC investigative meetups, will never be posted anywhere. They are totally anonymous. I'm just posting mine until I get my group, until I get my posse to rap with. So then we can keep each other accountable. Right now, this digital wonderful world of being able to post things, because I don't care about my flaws. And I'm able to put that up. But I know a lot of people, not only do you not want other people to know, but you may lose your job or whatnot. This is coming to the IC investigative meetups. It's the most, to log in, we ask for such little information. We just basically ask for a nickname and an email. And that email, you could put in a false email, but the email is just so you could confirm your password if you forget about it. But we do very little confirmation because your total anonymity is so important to us. My anonymity is not important at all to me. I love the fact that I've been through what I've been through as a drunk, because before, my whole life was about seeking pleasure, and now I have utter happiness, and it's just fantastic. So I'm glad for what I've been through. Okay, so finishing that. Oh yeah, I started that because I was supposed to change 1 to 2. 2. since I'm no longer going to go through this big editing process, trying to make it perfect, trying to make myself look fantastic, which I know I already do, right? So why would I need to waste time doing that? That was a joke. So I think we've got that one going, right? Yes, overcome the fear of the camera. So the point is, this one is so important because I've got this message, but nothing happens if I don't speak that message. And wasting a week to get one video perfect is nothing if I post 2 terrible videos every single day, but get a little better and better and better and better so that I can just rail off an entire video in one message. And I've got a list of hundreds of things that I want to talk about, all the ways this can be applied, all the ways it's the how other things out there aren't working. And don't worry about that. It's going to be awesome, but I commit to you 2 a day. Hold me to it. If I don't start doing all of this stuff, maybe this program doesn't even work. Okay, so you can hold me to it. Just want to show you the backup on that. I've got just another simple spreadsheet where I've start here on October. I didn't change that to the 15th. It was the 14th. I was supposed to start yesterday. But I'll just do a little editing on that because I don't even do that online here. But I'm going to be basically, I want to start each day by 9:10. I'm going to report the minutes. I want to get up to 90 minutes per day. And I'm going to have 2 videos that I work on. And I'm going to have 2 videos that I finished and post every single day. Not Saturday and Sundays. Saturday and Sundays, I'm just going to come in and do my meetings to remind me to make this shift. I'm making the great life flip. Okay. Heading back. And for the last one is start something new, but not the exercise program. I don't have a specific category for this because look, we got start a new skill, start a meditation or mindful breakfast, start eating healthy, which is kind of a flip of the overcome unhealthy nutrition, start focusing on mental health, start a job, start a new business. But not many people start an entire new therapeutic solution. So I'm just going to go with the start something new. And that is, we come down here, it's at the bottom. I'm going to set priority on this one, I believe to 1010, if I am right. No, this one is 09. Okay, but they're close. One of them's working on the fear, the instinctual core side, and which is this one, the overcome anxiety, and this one is working on the reactivating my human side, where I come in and get in focused, get in the zone. And to do that, I have, and this is the one I wanted to show you, because we don't have great formatting on these little notes part. This is where start something new. Launch the IC solution. Follow your routine and Notion project plan. That's where I go I've got a routine set up. And the whole point of my routine is to get my world basically by about 8 a.m., from 4 to 8 a.m., I want to have everything that's necessary, all the minutiae in a day out of the way so that I can open up a space between 8 and lunch where I can focus on getting these videos done, getting good at them. And then from lunch, after lunch until I'm done with work around 4, where I can focus on all the other things it takes to be networking and doing, just hundreds of different things where I can reach the world. And the major metrics, the 5 a.m. workout and the 9 a.m. video start. Okay. I do have a big ass routine right here, and I'm going to start clicking these off. And you see, you don't need to know all this. Once again, I can share what I do in a day to get everything out of the way, to have this space from 9 to 12 where I'm doing videos, and from 1 to 4 I'm doing all the other things in my Notion. Notion, by the way, it's a great project planner that goes well beyond the capabilities of it's like a Smart Sheets. Todoist is kind of a more like just a task list, but there's a whole bunch of them. Notion is great for overall project planning. That's what I'm using. But this, in order to get to the Notion time, I've got to get the rest of my minutia, ignite the body, maintain a proactive home and diet, ignite the mind, and maintain a proactive office, so that by 9 to 12, I can have the clarity and freedom of just without interruption, shut off the phone and get the work done, which is what I want more than anything in life. And I think that it's almost where we get to at this point. I didn't finish off the goal. Where did you go? Okay. So follow your routine and Notion project plan. That's what I just did. The metrics of 5 a.m. workout and 9 a.m. video start. But here, my forecasting. This is where I'm going to be right now on 10/15/2025. There is one person, me, using this IC goal tracker. And following this plan, this is what's going to happen. I know that there's 8 billion people in the world. And every time I talk to someone, they compliment either, oh, my brother, me, I have anxiety, I have addiction, it's like, we're all in this together. There's so many people that have a need. I'm going to say there's a market of at least 1 billion people, and I'm a niche of a niche of a niche, and that's 10 million. Okay. So by 10:15 today, I'm going to have one person. 1:15:25, I'm going to get to 10. But I'm not going to go calling individuals to do that. I'm going to start getting it through mass marketing, the digital media age. I want to reach people that are suffering, that are searching for these things. I'm not going to be begging my friends to get on with me. By 5/12/2025, 100 users will be getting better. Not users. These are just not clients, because this is free, but it's all, you can give donations if you want. And then growth is going to start happening. 10/15/26, 1,000. And every year after that, add another digit. 10/15/27, 10,000. 28, 100,000. 29, 1 million. I see that as easy. Now, by 10/15/2030, 10 million, that is a stretch. Okay? But the 1 million mark, absolutely no problem. And since I've been putting off doing these videos, I've been building this robust system that can already handle this, that is able to be totally expandable, to have hundreds of meetings, thousands of meetings every day, and millions of people. So it's all ready. I'm going to take this, and you'll see what I meant by the bad formatting. Put it up in here. And it puts it all in one line. That's because you don't want a whole bunch of space taken up. I'm okay with that. But I do have a full-time programmer that's working with me. And everything else I'm doing on my own right now. But I think I've hit all the points. Now, I'm going to go to a meetup each day. And I'm going to start hitting radars and radar quick catches on all of these. You're going to start to see me progress. And all of these will come into fruition. Now, I didn't know I was going to share this, but I might as well. Going back to the, just because I remembered, as you probably saw in the in the opening video, that was me, Alcoholic Day. That was me at Ninja Warrior time, 2021. Then I got injured. This is me now, because I've still been working out, still have some of the muscle, but because I've been eating the crap, got a little bit going on here. So I want to get back to, I don't know, I'm 52 now, if I can get back to that guy. But I want to be able to start flying around. I want to be in the best shape I can be so that I can get back. I don't know why I decided to share that with you. Kind of embarrassing, a little too much information, but we're buddies, right? Okay. Anyways, that does it. That is the setup of the overriding decision so that I can live the great life flip. Now I got to stick to it every day. And How I do that, what the radars are all about, will be coming up in following videos. And this is going to be posted, in case you don't know this already. It's going to be this video is going to be posted right here. It's going to replace the setup of your goals, but it's also going to be posted in the IC University, the 3-hour IC University. This is going to be part of it, and then I'll go on to show you in follow-ups how we go through the radar and roar process and the importance of meetups and accountability and finding your clan to do this with. So that's all I got. Come to the Instinct Center and get this done. Join me. I can't wait to have you on the team. Love you. Peace in the Middle East. Out. Where's the out button? I'm not going to edit it, so you're going to see this part too. Okay, goodbye.